Good morning, dear students. My heartiest congratulations to all of you. I hope you will be safe at your home in COVID-19 pandemic along with your family members. Regarding your safety issues, my college administration had decided to run your online classes so that you become safe at your home. Myself, Sudhir Kumar Asthana, I will teach you first paper of zoology. Before coming to the topic, you must know what you have to study. So, you must know what is your syllabus. Your zoology subject comprises 3 papers. Paper first is lower non-chordata. Paper second higher non-chordata. And paper third is cell biology and genetics. Each paper is of 50 marks. And practical is also of 50 marks. So, the total mark is 200. As far as your first paper is concerned, it consists of 2 units. Unit first have one phylum Protozoa, and in this phylum you have to study 3 animals. First one is Euglena, second one is Monocystis, and third one is Paramecium. Unit second consists of phylum Porifera, in this phylum you have to study one animal that is Saigon. Unit 3rd, consists of phylum Coelenterata, and in this phylum you have to study two animals, that is Obelia and Aurelia. Unit 3rd, Unit 4th, have also one phylum, that is phylum Nematihelminthes. In this phylum, you have to study one animal, that is Ancylostoma. That is all about your zoology first paper. Now you have to know, before coming to the topic, you have to know what is animal diversity and taxonomy. So, first of all, we will be study about animal diversity. Animal diversity. In this topic, we will try to know what is animal diversity. Enormously large number of animals inhabit the earth. Some of them were lived in past and now they will represent only in fossil forms. The animals vary in their shape, size. The animals vary in their shape, size, color, form, habits and habitat, and their distribution. So we will study animal diversity under following heads, that is shape, size, color, form, habit and habitat, and their distribution. As far as their shape is concerned, The animals vary largely in their shape. They may be round, flat, cylindrical, elongated, zigzag, etc. The animals vary largely also in their size. A malarial parasite which measures about 3 micron in length it is assumed that the smallest animal living on the earth is a microsporidian larvae. Microsporidian larvae which measures about 3 micron in diameter. On the other hand, the largest animal found on the earth is blue whale, which measures about 35 meters in length and weighs about 100 tons. Weighs about 100 tons. There are few animals which are different what they look like. For example, a bird which look like a bird but actually it is not a bird and is a mammal like man. Likewise, a whale which looks like a fish but actually it is a mammal. So these things appear surprising to a common man. A considerable part of animal kingdom on one hand are so small in size that they can only be observed under microscope. On the other hand, there are some animals on the earth which are extremely large in size, such as elephant and whale. Animals vary greatly in their shape. They may be round, flat, cylindrical, zigzag, etc. As far as their color is concerned, animals also vary greatly in their color. Some are brightly colored, some are dull, and their color also vary according to their surroundings. Next one is form. So animals also vary in their form. They may be of different forms. There are some animals which are very beautiful or handsome, and some are very ugly. Diversity among animals does not exist only in their shape, size, color, and form, but also in their habits and habitat. The animals found from infinite depth of oceans to high mountain ranges, as well as from poles of the earth to the equator of the earth. Aquatic animals may inhabit either freshwater habitat or marine habitats. As far as fresh water habitat is concerned, it may be rivers, ponds, pools, ditches, lakes, etc. The freshwater habitat The freshwater habitats, I have already told you, that is river, ponds, pool, ditches, lakes, etc. In this river is that water body in which water flows continually, and animals found in river are called lotic. So, lotic are that freshwater animals which inhabit in running water, which inhabit in running water. On the other hand, some freshwater bodies such as ponds, pools, lakes, ditches, and swamps, their water are stagnant, and animals inhabiting in stagnant water bodies are called lentic. In the same way, in the marine habitat, animals are distributed or inhabit along different depths of water bodies. The animals found at the water surface, are called pelagic. Animals inhabiting depths of water bodies are called abyssal, and those inhabiting near the bottom are called littoral, and those are found at the bottom are called benthic. So, in marine habitat, there are 4 types of animals according to their depth. That is, first one is pelagic, that are found at the surface of water. Second one is the abyssal, that are found in the depth of water body. And third one is the littoral, that are found next to the abyssal and before the benthic. Means these are found near the bentham but not at the bentham or bottom. So these are called littoral. And last one is the benthic, that are found at the bottom of the sea or ocean. There are water areas where rivers join. If you look at the map of India, this is a rough map of India. Suppose this is the Uttarakhand, from where river Ganges arises, and from Gangotri and comes and joins to the Bay of Bengal. Bay of Bengal. So, the river where join the sea, these areas are called delta or estuaries. When rivers join to the sea, the water areas in the estuary, the salinity of this area becomes very low. Means the salinity of estuarine water is lesser than the marine water. There are some fishes which can't permanently live in marine water, and sometimes come to the and sometimes come to the estuarine water for spawning purpose during their breeding season. Spawning is a act of reproductive physiology where young fishes releases their ova or sperm. So that kind of fishes which moves from marine water to the estuarine water for spawning purposes are called anadromous fishes. Anadromous fishes. These are called anadromous fishes because they move from lower area to the upstream, because they move from lower area, because the level of the sea is lower than the estuarine and riverine water. So these fishes comes from sea to the estuarine water. These are called anadromous fishes. And some fishes found in the estuarine water or riverine water move to the sea water for spawning purpose, and these fishes are called catadromous fishes. The example of anadromous fish is salmon. One more example, and trouts. Example of the catadromous fish is fresh water eel. There are some fishes which cannot permanently inhabit in seawater, and they have wide range of salinity tolerance, and they move across seawater, estuarine water and riverine water. These fishes are called euryhaline, and some fishes have narrow salinity tolerance capability, and they remain confined either to fresh water or marine water, and these are called stenohaline. So euryhaline are that aquatic animals that have wide salinity tolerance, wide range of salinity tolerance capacity, and stenohaline are that aquatic animals that have narrow salinity tolerance capacity. So euryhaline can migrate across marine water, estuarine water and fresh water. Against it, stenohaline animals have narrow range of salinity tolerance capability, so they remain confined either fresh water or marine water. Animals inhabiting on the earth surface are called terrestrial. Animals inhabiting on the earth surface are called terrestrial. Inhabiting on the earth surface. In the same way, animals inhabiting below the surface of earth are called subterranean. Animals inhabiting on the trees are called arboreal. Inhabiting on the trees. Fast runner animals are called cursorial. So cursorials are fast runners. Animals digging in habit are called fossorial. Animals digging in habit, they make holes in soil and they live in it. So terrestrial animals are those animals that inhabit on earth's surface. Subterranean are those animals that inhabit below the earth's surface. Arboreals are that animals that inhabit on trees. Cursorial are fast runners, and fossorial are those animals that are digging in habit. Invertebrate forms major contribution of the animal diversity, that is about more than 80%. So, in total animal diversity, the animals of different forms are microbes are about 14.8%. Plants and algae are about 4%. Vertebrates are less than 0.4%, and invertebrates are more than 80%. Okay, that's all.